everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakibale in Abuja. Well, it's a new dawn in Edo State. Governor Bobrisky has officially bowed out as the governor of the state, and now Senator Monday Okpebholo has been inaugurated as a new governor, marking an end to the 8-year stint of Governor Bobrisky at the helm of affairs in the state. The ceremony took place earlier today at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City, the state capital, 2 months after the All Progressives Congress APC clinched the mandate to the Dennis Osadebe House. Okpebholo took his oath of office alongside his running mate Dennis Idahosa at about 12:55 p.m. today, and thereafter rode in an open van around the stadium, waving to cheers from supporters, and equally a march passed around him as a significant welcome into his office. In his inaugural speech, Senator Okpebholo promises to deliver on the dividends of democracy to the people of the state.
The welfare of our citizens is a top priority for us. To achieve this, we shall implement programs carefully outlined in my 5-point agenda, designed to grow a robust economic growth and improve the lives of our people. They are security, infrastructural and road development, affordable healthcare, water and food sufficiency, value-driven education across the state. For a long time now, our people have become a victim of kidnapping and other violent crimes. To end this ugly situation, we'll be firm in dealing with criminals and improve the security of our land, so that farming and other business will flourish again.
Really? Well, it was not only him who spoke. That event was graced by the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, and he's also spoke about the significance of the inauguration of Senator Okpebholo as the governor of Edo State for the APC and the nation.
It is often said that an honest leader is quick to see the legacy of problems they inherit. However, what truly defines such a leader is not the magnitude of these challenges, but the sincerity and courage to confront them. It is not fear that will shape the future of Edo State, but our commitment to the common good of the people, both supporters and opponents. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, though it may seem daunting to take the reins of power at such a time, I assure you, this is the best moment to serve one's people. For in these uncertain times, the people's demand for true leadership is stronger than ever before.
Meanwhile, the new Edo governor has made his first appointment, coming into office on the very first day, within the very first few hours. The governor has now appointed Dr. Siri Adams Oshamale as the Commissioner of Health Designate, and Mr. Musa Ikilo, who was also appointed as the Secretary to the State Government, and Honorable Samson Osage has now been appointed as the Attorney General and the Commissioner of Justice. Tonight, you may have heard a lot of promises from the Minister of Interior about passport and the delivery, about the situation in the fire service in the nation, as relating also to immigration service and their delivery of their mandate to the nation. But how much of those promises have been delivered to the nation? We talk about the porous, vast borders of Nigeria and the infiltration that we have seen in the past few days. What is the minister doing under his mandate to the nation? We shall be talking to him, but we'll check some of your political roundup stories and we'll get our conversation started.
In a move to settle the political dispute in Rivers State, the president of the Court of Appeal, Abuja, has constituted a 3-member special panel of justices to preside over the political cases in the state, which is set to commence sitting on Thursday, November the 14th, 2024. The appeals before the appellate court include one instituted by the governor and the House of Assembly, as well as that of the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress, bordering on the alleged defection of 27 pro-Wike lawmakers from the PDP to the APC. And ahead of the Ondo State governorship election, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa believes that the people of Owo local government area of Ondo State will vote for the APC. Governor Aiyedatiwa, who is also the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, stated this while addressing newsmen during his campaign tour of the local government area. He appreciated the people for their overwhelming support, hoping for a landslide victory in the local government.
So I'm so thankful to the traditional rulers of all, the political leaders for mobilizing their people and for charging them to rally around and come out to vote APC.
Similarly, the candidate of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, in the Ondo State governorship election has appealed to the electorate in the state to reject the major political parties as they have failed Nigerians. The YPP candidate stated this while leading some members and supporters of the party on an awareness walk on the election in Akure, the state capital. He wants the people to vote for the YPP, which he says is the party that is committed to their welfare.
There is ravaging hunger, poverty, insecurity in the land. And we are embarking on this work to tell people that a credible alternative is here, which is the Young Progressives Party, YPP.
The Crossing State government has taken a significant step towards ensuring fair wages and better living conditions for the public servants across the state by inaugurating the Joint Public Service Negotiation and Implementation Committee of the new National Minimum Wage. The state's Deputy Governor, Mr. Peter Ode, explained that the welfare of the workers is of utmost importance to the Basio II administration, and it's the duty of the government to ensure that they are adequately compensated for their hard work and dedication. The state government is expecting a feedback from the committee in 4 weeks. The Forum of APC chairmanship aspirants in Benue State has called for stronger synergy with Governor Alia's administration. Addressing journalists in Makurdi, the aspirants who contested in the recent local council elections urged party loyalists and supporters to unite behind the governor's vision for a stronger and more formidable state.
Thank you so much. And there you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories. Tonight, we will be speaking with the Minister of Interior, Mr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, on several aspects of his office mandate. Recently, the Immigration Service announced the contactless passport application process, but there is still lots of issues amidst security and governance challenges confronting our nation. Tonight, I'm being joined by the Honorable Minister for Interior, Mr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who is live with us right here in our studio. Many thanks, Honorable Minister, for coming on the program.
Oh, thanks for having me as always.
Interestingly, you made promises the last time, as you of all, it does look like you made the promises on this program, and tonight we'll be checking whether or not those promises you have made to Nigerians have been fulfilled. But one thing that is very concerning, we had a very extensive conversation about our borders, especially the new terror, the new in-code terror group in the northwestern region of the country, in the Sokoto axis of the country, which is giving a lot of people concern that is this another kind of Boko Haram that we're having on our hands, and it bothers the mind. And was trying to paint a picture yesterday of just how vast that border between Niger and the northern side of Nigeria is. It's about over 1,000 kilometers. It will take you over 10 hours if you're driving 100 kilometers per hour to drive through the length and the breadth of that border. The question is, it's only under your purview as a minister, Nigeria's porous borders and this infiltration we are seeing. Have you been able to do anything at all to be able to stem this infiltration?
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me once again. As I always say, security is everybody's business. Yes, I understand that to the glory of God, due to the kindness of Mr. President, the Minister of Interior, and border security, of course, falls under the purview of Immigration Service, and by virtue of that, under my supervision. But I want you to know there's a lot we can't really talk about on TV because this has to deal with national security And you cannot come on air and tell people your strategy. But I'll tell you that the National Security Advisor is working around the clock with us and defense and, of course, the armed forces. And I want to assure Nigerians that we're on top of the situation. The fact remains that as much as we are talking about resultant effect, we must also not forget the question is, how did we get here? You understand? And because we will sort this issue, I can tell you that under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there's a determination to solve this issue. But we must make sure that as much as we're solving these issues, we do not give room for other issues like this, you understand, in the future. There was a time Boko Haram came, and Boko Haram, it's not secret that it's been grossly decimated, and we're not seeing proliferation of new groups and etc. But what we are trying to do is that as much as we will decimate all these challenges, we must make sure that the country is put on the path of sustainable security going forward. And part of that is the issue of the border governance. And I tell you, we're doing a lot. We've been able to handle our core conventional borders, and these are porous borders where we have the marching order of the president, and we're already working on that. And I want to tell you that it's not easy, to solve a problem of over 200 years, over 100 years problem in 1 year, but at least we can be on the right track and ensure that Minister, these things are done.
What a lot of Nigerians may not have the skin for is the usual, we're on top of it. We've heard we're on top of it. As much as this is a security matter, in what way are you on top of it, Minister? I mean, Nigerians will not want to take, we're on top of it. In what way are you on top of it? People are being killed in Kebbi State. Few days ago, this group of terrorists killed people in Kebbi State. We're talking about lives, livelihood. These people are adjudicating, they are administering some form of trial on Nigerian citizens. And these guys have been there for over 6 years on that territory. What sort of on top are you being on this matter, Minister?
Shewan, I listened to you carefully, and let me tell you this very clearly. I don't come on air and speak based on insinuations. I speak facts. The records are there. Every time we've given our word, we keep our word. At least Nigerians can attest to that. And I'm telling you critically that as I speak, the NSA, the Minister of Defense, the Armed Forces, nobody is sleeping.
Have you guys met over the issues of border?
I will not divulge to details.
Okay,
because hold on a second.
The question is, are there meetings, are there deliberations on solving it?
Hold on. Let me tell you this very clearly. The way people, Nigerians, innocent Nigerians are watching this show, don't be surprised that terrorists are also watching. Non-state actors are also watching. And at the end of the day, I will not be too flippant and be so careless to put them a mile ahead of us. It will never happen. I'm not here to do that. I'm telling you, we promised when we came that we were going to tackle certain issues that have to do with security. And to a large extent, we tackled those issues. Security improved. Even in terms of Boko Haram, in terms of ISWAP and etc., there was decimation. You saw the result. Now, security is a going concern. When you decimate one, other issues, because you're dealing with ideological battle. Ideological battle is subject to proliferation. And of course, we as leaders, we as the people that the president has trusted under his command, we are working round the clock. But what we are doing is not what Nigerians, I don't think that's what I need to come here to say. No, hold on. Let me make a point. Let me land, please. Let me land, just a sec. What I think leadership is about is taking responsibility for what is on, for situations on ground, and finding a solution and making sure that Nigerians can sleep with their two eyes closed. And that is why I'm telling you, nobody is resting. Not the NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, not him, not the Minister of Defense, not the Chief of Defense Staff, not the DS. Nobody is sleeping. We are working
but
because we are,
and
I will tell
Sokoto
you,
State, people in Kebbi State, in those local government areas, they cannot sleep with their two eyes closed.
That is why
and I want you to give assurance, Minister.
We will not sleep.
How soon can we get results? Because those people who are watching, yes, non-state actors are watching, these terror guys are watching, but the question is that those who are living in these areas and their family members, some of them are also watching. They want assurance tonight. The government under your own mandate, Minister.
Listen to me.
What are you doing?
Listen to me. This security issue, it's a major issue of national concern. And I will not sit here and refuse to take responsibility for the security on behalf of the president of Nigeria. The president is sensitive to these issues. And I tell you this, do not judge the president, do not judge his administration by the level of assurance. Talk is cheap. Somebody can come here and say, hey. But believe me, the real deal is in the action. We came May 29 last year. Forget about this. I don't want us to bring politics into this. We came May 29. We all know the situations across board. Yes, have we got it to where we want to get to? The answer is no. But are we where we were last year? The answer is a no. So we have made progress. And the progress is steady. And we are making progress. And we are giving that same assurance to people that, listen, we understand the mandate that Nigerians have given to this government. And the mandate is a sleepless one. It's a mandate that tells us not to close our eyes until Nigerians can sleep. And I tell you, the president, as the captain, as the leader of the team, understands what that means in terms of trust. He is not a man to break that trust. And we, as his lieutenants, from the NSA, to the Minister of Defense, to the armed forces, nobody is ready to leave a stone unturned.
Minister, apart from the fact that we do know that some of these terror groups are using the porous borders to infiltrate our territory, we do know that some people run away from the arm of the law in this country through our porous borders. What are we dealing with? Can you give us an understanding of the state of our borders today so Nigerians can understand the task before your office?
Okay, let me tell you this very clearly. We have a border stretch of about 4,047 kilometers. That's land border. We border 4 countries, just as you know, 2 ECOWAS, 2 non-ECOWAS. And of course, Nigeria has this uniqueness, of being a nation within the Sahel and being a nation within the Gulf of Guinea. So when you look at that consideration in terms of geopolitical inclinations, you will understand. You understand why we're having this level of threat. You understand, in Nigeria, because here we are, a part is in the Sahel. Do not forget, when you look at the economic index of the 10 countries in the Sahel, 5 of them are in the list. They are in the top 10 poorest countries in the world. So there is always that quest here to Nigeria, you understand? So there are a lot of issues. But since we came on board, see, let me tell you, the problem is we have a president who inherited a lot of challenges. Let's take a space. We are not pushing responsibility. We are taking responsibility because, like what he will always say, as a president, as a government, you inherit assets and liabilities. We are not running away. We're not dodging. We understand that fact. But the simple truth is that the state of our borders before we came, even our conventional borders, how can you take a look, just flash back to last year and look at our borders, see what we had at our borders, even at our airports, at our seaports, even at our sea borders, even in terms of our entry point, legal entry point, talk less of the irregular entry point. It was nothing to write home about. But I tell you, Sheon, one of these days, I promise you, I will take you on a drive, on a ride, okay? And to some of these borders, you'll see what the Tinubu administration has been able to do. Now, the issue of the airport, the issue of marine, we've done a lot in that regard. Even in the issue, I can tell you that in terms of our regular entry point, more than 70%, and I'm being very I'm being very careful with data now. More than 70% had been sorted You understand what I mean? We have worked a lot to do, but the key and what we are facing now are the irregular migration centers. And I want to tell you, this irregular migration route, we cover it. We always, whenever I come here, I give my word and I try to keep it because I have a president. I signed a contract with the president. This is not a president that just appoints you and says, just go and do whatever you like. He appoints you. You sign a performance contract. He evaluates you. So you are only as good as your last performance in office. So we're all on our toes. And I want to assure you, we've done a lot. If you get to our airports now, in terms of our, immigration control protocols, it's top notch, one of the best in the world. If you get to our seaports, a lot of our sea borders, a lot has been done. If you get to a lot of our land borders, we're doing a lot in terms of our convention. But what we now need to do, hold on, just a sec. What we now need to do, which is what we're already doing, is now to pay a lot of attention, which we have the whole plan, and we'll start executing those plans in terms of our non-regular entry points, which is a large stretch.
All right, let me quickly take you on. One of the things you promised when you came here was the issue of the command and control center. You told us that there will be a central point where our airports can be. Anybody that is coming in and going out can be monitored. Something that it does not exist before. Where is that today?
It's there 100%. As a matter of fact, we did the induction program about 2 weeks ago. Just yesterday, we started 24 hours operation of the Command and Control Center in Saga. It's there, live and direct. It's not
in Abuja here?
In Abuja here, immigration headquarters.
So how many airports can it see?
All our airports.
You see all the Nigerian airports, not local airports, but international
all our international airports. And we are also integrating our land, our regular, because what we call that is regular migration control center. So even our land borders, our sea border, everything is being integrated into that. And the APIs I promised the other time, that's Advanced Passenger Information System, is also live now. We started receiving data from KLM and a lot of other. So we have started the pre-profiling of people before they come into Nigeria, taking a decision, looking and integrating, which is integrated to the criminal record system, to the Interpol, and a lot of other things I won't be able to talk deeply into. So that is live and direct. We have delivered.
I thought that was only in Lagos and Abuja airports.
No. It's all the international airports.
Now, if anyone before he comes into Nigeria, you already know who he is.
We know
whether he's running away.
We know where you're coming from. We know where you have been over the last couple of weeks, months. We know your route. We know a lot. Don't worry. I don't want to go too deep into that. So what it means now is that what we do it's no longer subjective profiling. What we do now is objective profiling, just like it's seen anywhere in the world. And what we have in Nigeria is not just an API, it's an iAPI, an interactive API, which is the top notch, the best you can get anywhere in the world. And I challenge anybody to dispute that. We already have that. I was, about 2-3 months ago, I was in California. I saw the Command and Control Center, the American Command and Control Center in California. And I tell you, what we have here is comparable, if not better than that. I just came back 2 days ago from UK where I had a meeting with the Home Secretary. We saw a lot of the officials, and I tell you, a lot of what they have, we already have. So there's a lot of, and these things are there, they are physical assets, We spoke about the data center is there live and direct. And part of what we have just been able to finish is because we understand the challenge of power. All right. And what we've done is, apart from building all this command and control center, because we want it to be 24/7, we do not want an interlude. We don't want a break. So what we did is to do a 500 and a 0.5 megawatt solar farm. You understand? So the projects are off-grid. The data center is off-grid. The command center is off-grid. The visa approval center, every infrastructure within the complex, which is massive, is off-grid. And that is about 0.5 megawatt. And it's done and dusted. It's in NIS headquarters.
So now the idea now is that all Nigerians, or most Nigerians who are traveling in and out, should have their data captured and have an NIN, isn't it?
I don't understand that.
Any Nigerian with an international passport has, for a must, an NIN.
Of course,
which is your identity.
That's a prerogative.
Now, we do know that office is under your purview now. So how much of the data integration have you been able to do to allow the authorities to be able to profile know and be able to account for every citizen that goes in and out for the sake of our Nigerian security?
No, definitely. I tell you this very clearly. NIMC and NIS, Nigerian Immigration Service, they're 100% integrated. 100, not 99. 100% integrated.
So NIMC, there's a handshake between
yes, of course.
Service
it's a simple, yes,
NIMC.
It's just an API, simple solution, integration solution. It's a very simple thing, which we've done. As a matter of fact, it was one of the first things that we did because the law, the NIMC's Act, gives the mandate of identity management to NIMC, and NIMC is supposed to be the primary source of data. It's just like in the UK when you talk about your NI, it's like in the US when you talk about your social security, and that's what NIMC is supposed to do, and that's what NIMC is doing now. So we've integrated that 100%.
How many Nigerians have they been able to capture now?
NIMC has over 100 million. I can't be specific. I think the last count, I think it's about 102 million. Nigerians.
Now, there was a breach on their database. Have you fixed that?
Well, if you say there was a breach, I want to say this very clearly about that. It's very debatable. Okay. And I know there were investigations, and a lot of these investigations report cannot be for now, unless the security agencies take certain actions they're supposed to take. So this is not a debate I want to take. It's not a debate I want to venture into. But one assurance I want to give is that data integrity is the hallmark of whatever we do. You understand? Because I'm a certified ethical hacker. I built my career in IT security, countermeasures, and this is my field. This is what I do. This is what what I've done for over 2 decades of my life. So I want to say this very clearly.
The data of Nigeria safe
definitely
in the hands of the Nigerian authorities.
Yes, definitely. Why? Data protection is fundamental. It's key. As I always say, it is the responsibility of government to take data, but it is also the right of the people for their data to be protected, and we're not ignorant of that. We're not ignorant of our responsibility.
Now, give us an honor, because the other day you said that never again will anyone who is not a Nigerian be able to acquire the Nigerian passport.
Sure.
And we've seen such a thing, or even under those people whom we cannot identify, people will also always say they are aliens holding Nigerian passport. How much of that have you been able to resolve?
Well, I'll be very surprised if there are new incidents because the measures that we've put, we think they're solid. And part of what we did was that when we came on board, we realized a lot of aliens got passport by what they call citizenship by confirmation, which we knew is, we all know that's illegal. And we have cancelled all such passports. And I want to tell you that I think with the integration, and of course, apart from the IT, with the document verification officers in various local governments across the 774 local governments that we have, ascertaining the foundational identity of applicants before they get, I think it's a bit tough now for non-Nigerians too. But like what I said, you see, nation building is a going concern. We'll keep evolving, you understand, and we'll keep fixing it. The issue is that the president, I said this, don't be tired of me saying this. The president inherited too many things, just like we spoke about the correctional centers, all right? I'll use that as an example. Ikoyi was built in 1956, all right? President Tinubu did not become president in 1956 for crying out loud. Suleja was built in 1914, all right? That was the year of amalgamation. It means that Suleja prison is as old as Nigeria itself. President Tinubu was not president in 1914. He wasn't even born in 1914, okay? So, but the fact is that he is the president now who has that gut, who has the audacity and that boldness to say, hey, I'm tired of transferring this problem to the next generation, all right? I want to be the guy who stops this mess. I want to be the president that brings an end to this mess. I'm ready to take the bullet and let's fix it. Let's fix it, not short fixes, not about creating short-term solutions to long-term problems. It's about creating long-term solutions to long-term problems. So that is the same issue when you talk about the issue of identity, all right? Issue of passport. People have been acquiring passports in Nigeria since 1963. To the best of my knowledge, okay? But this president came and said, hey, let's sanitize the process. Let let's make sure that the passport, which is a symbol of our sovereignty, which is a symbol of our pride, is reliable, is dependable, it's of integrity, and of which every Nigerian will be proud to carry. And that's what exactly we're doing in the Ministry of Interior.
So let's look at one area. I mean, when you say that never again are people be able to, aliens get Nigerian passport, you also promised that the next time you're coming here, the contactless passport system will be functional. And that means that a lot of the times people do not need to go to any physical office to be able to apply for passport. And we saw that Immigration Service was advertising that has come to effect. But yeah, some people are still groaning and saying that some of the aspects of that service is not 100% foolproof.
Well, I don't understand what you mean by foolproof, and I'll tell you very clearly. We promised contactless, right? Because if you have somebody who lives in Canada or who lives in the US, okay, you will understand the pain. All right. When somebody needs to fly 6 hours, 7 hours just to get a Nigerian passport, when somebody needs to sleep in a hotel, needs to pay for ticket, needs to feed, needs to cancel a day's job, especially I was in Canada, like I said, a couple of months ago. I saw students, okay? A student came to me and said, sir, I had to cancel lectures just because I need to renew my passport. There is no way as a father you hear something like that and be happy. I was in London and a doctor came to me, a lady doctor came to me. I think that was last week, on Thursday, I guess. And she said, oh, I had to cancel today's job, okay, because I need a Nigerian passport. And we took a decision, a very innovative decision to say, hey, we cannot subject our citizens to this level of pain, all right? We want a scenario where immigration office, passport application center gets to everybody's phone, okay? Let's decentralize the process. Let's reduce human contact. When you reduce human contact, corruption reduces because people must see you before they collect money or collect bribe, from you in that setting. And we started, and in our own understanding, as a new technology, don't forget that I've been a project manager of over 20 years. Okay, there is no way you will want to start a new technology, a solution like that, and you just want to start it everywhere across the globe. So we decided to start with Canada, and we started on the 1st of November. And as I speak to you, it's live, it's direct, it's good. We have a lot of people have even opted for the solution. We've printed, we've DHL, we've done a lot. And very soon, we want to perfect everything. Of course, when you start a new solution, there will be a level of 1 or 2 small hitches which you need to fix. And do not forget, one of the things we also did is that the solution is completely indigenous. All right, we did not go and say, okay, let's go and look for foreign technology. We got Nigerian technology. The two vendors that came together to develop the solution are Nigerian software companies. All right, they built a solution today that I, as an IT professional, as an IT security expert, I'm proud to call a Nigerian solution.
So what it means, Minister, is that when you download the app on your phone, which is the Nigerian Immigration Service app application, you can go through the drop down and be able to apply and do your biometrics on that same app.
Yeah, it's an end-to-end solution. You can start your application on it, finish it, do your biometric, put your...
But not a new application.
No, it's a
renewal.
No, okay, yeah. There are only 2 exceptions, because it's also key. As I said, I feel for people. I want Nigerians to be comfortable, all right? But we must also not do that at the expense of national security. So what we said is that, okay, it is only for renewals, and you must be above 18. You must be an adult, all right, for you to be able to do that. And why did we say not a new person? Because the whole idea is because we already, and I'll give you an example, Sheil. This is not, it's not magic, all right? We already have your biometrics in our database. We have a biometric database solution, all right? We have your biometrics already. So the essence of you going and traveling all the way from Vancouver to Ottawa, it's not because we need your biometric to print passport. is just for you to be able to authenticate that, oh, you go and take your biometric, we now do a cross match, all right, with what we have in our database to be sure it's the same person, all right? So once that is done, we will now issue your passport. But we always issue with the biometric in the database. So the question is that if you want to authenticate that it is me, there are three-way solutions to this. One, we do what we call a live check, all right? So if you do a live check, it's a live check, so you cannot snap a picture and the system is an AI. It automatically detects it, all right? So when we do the live check, then secondly, we do the facial, you know, the iris, the whatever, it captures that. After that, we do the biometric check. So we have like 3-4 layers of security check. So with that, people don't need to travel for you to authenticate that they are who they say. You understand? Mm-hmm. They are, after all, when you go to the if you want to get an American, you want to renew your American passport, you don't go to immigration or American or immigration office or whatever. You just go to, you know, the post office or whatever. If you want to UK, it's the same thing. You go to Ireland. You go to so many countries. Nobody tells you come and queue. It is when you queue that somebody will come to you. Oh, I can help you to shunt the queue. I can do it faster. Instead of 50,000 for passport, why don't you pay me 150? Pay. That's where bribery. So
you don't go physically again to renew your passport. So you are starting and you are you are experimenting in Canada first.
Yeah, I would not use the word experiment, maybe because I'm an engineer, right? We're not experimenting. We are actually launching in Canada.
We're trying it out.
We're launching it in Canada, which we have done, and now the solution is very stable. Anybody in
But some people are still complaining delay in issuance.
No, when you say
some say 42 days or thereabout, or several days after.
Listen to me. The two things you're saying, there is no correlation between the issuance and contactless.
No, when
maybe the delay. Hold on, Sean. Let me make this clear. There's no correlation. Before it is, if like what they often say, if it's not broken, you don't fix it. It's because we saw that there is okay. Let me give you an example about delay in issuance. In UK, we have 48,000, over 48,000 enrollments. All right, people that have applied. In our embassy, we can only take maximum of 300 people a day. All right? So if you want to go by virtue of that, somebody has applied. And we can only take 300. And there are already 48,000 people on the queue. How many months, okay, will it take? Now, that's part of the reasons why people will complain, all right? That, oh, there is delay. And we can't. There's no magic because it's a physical space. If this place takes only 100 people, you can't put 200 people in there, all right? But what did we do, which we think is the smartest thing to do, is to be able to decentralize that and say, okay, the only person that needs to come to the embassy is a first-time applicant because we need to interview you, we need to be sure you are a Nigerian, we need to look at this document, look at that, and we take your biometric into our database. So what it means basically is that in your life as a Nigerian, you only have business to go to the NIS office for passport issue only once in your life. After that, and that's not too big a sacrifice to make. After that, whatever you want to do, you do it on your phone. So the job of, which is also the reason why we are doing a centralized personalization center, is ongoing in Abuja now. Because Nigeria is the only country that I know of any of the big countries in the world that prints passport in so many, that personalizes in over 50 centers. All right? So we are also solving that problem, and we're building a way such that any enrollment that is done, within 48 hours, we issue the passport, because with the machines we're putting in now, we will be able to print, each machine will be able to print about 8,000 a day. Multiply, and we're bringing in about 4 machines, which is 32,000. And of course, that is far.
All right. Minister, let me pause you for a moment. We need to take a break. But when we come back, what happens to Bobrisky? His or our time, whatever way you, the gentleman, be referred to the pronoun, proper pronoun, under the correctional service, what exactly was the issue? We'll be hearing from the minister about that matter. And of course, the issue relating to fire service, the NSCDC, and the rest under the mandate of Minister Olubunmi Tunjojo. We'll be right back after this break, everyone. Thank you so much. Honorable Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjojo, has been our guest tonight on the program. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your time. One aspect you've spoken about the Command and Control Center, which you say we can visibly see what is going on in one office, in one back end of what goes on in all our international airports. You also spoke about the e-gate, and which you said has been launched in some airports already. You also recently announced plans to streamline Nigeria's immigration process through the introduction of e-gate technology as part of the efforts to modernize border management. But in the real sense of it, for those who have visited some of the international airports, are these e-gates actually practically active?
Sheon, I don't want to talk too much on this, okay? Please, we'll want to invite you, okay, to come and see what this administration has done. On immigration service, I tell you, every promise we made, we've kept. From reduction in waiting time for passports, sanitizing the passport process, to as much as the contactless, to the e-gate, to the data center. We said, when I came here, we promised a 1.4 petabyte data center. Do not forget that. But what did we deliver? A 3.1 petabyte center. So we delivered almost 3 times the capacity of 2.5 times the capacity of what we promised, all right? The Command and Control Center we delivered. The ECOWAS Card Center we delivered. The Visa Approval Center built from scratch we delivered. We delivered everything, in fact, including what we did not even promise here, which is the 0.5 megawatt solar farm for off-grid power supply. We didn't promise it on this show. We have delivered that. And at the moment, we are constructing the centralized personalization center as I speak, which is a massive one, which is going to transform the integrity and the issuance and bring checks and balances to the issuance of our travel document. But also, we are also understood, and I said it on this show, that I don't want to see an immigration that is a travel document issuing agency. I want to see an immigration agency that will play its role in terms of internal security, all right? The internal security architecture, border control, migration management, and that's the era we are going into now. So everything we promised. The only thing we're waiting, very soon the president will come and commission officially, but as I speak, they're 100% ready to be commissioned. As I speak to you, the e-gate in Lagos is complete, 100%. All the terminals in Lagos, the D terminal, the E terminal.
So the e-gate means that when you are coming into the airport as a Nigerian, you just swipe your passport.
You just put your passport, it reaches your passport, get to your biometric, and you go.
And you don't need to see any immigration officer.
No.
Because between you and Minister Keyamo, I hope that you'll be able to decongest our airports, such that we need to see less of the officers. NDLEA, immigration,
let me tell you.
customs.
Hold on, Sean. Hold on, Sean.
This is too much.
Let me say this very clearly. The beauty of this administration is synergy. All right? Like the president will always say, we might be sleeping in different rooms, but we're in the same house, all right? Me and Festus Keyamo is my big brother. We're very close. We work very closely together. And I'll say this very clearly. Without his collaboration, the APIS wouldn't have worked. There was a time we had issues in terms of airport access, and Minister Keyamo, in terms of even our e-gate. Minister Keyamo immediately I called it. We worked together. So what I'm trying, hold on. That's what
immigration will still swipe you.
That is what I'm telling you. That was, you see, let me tell you, in an abnormal situation, okay, a normal situation is always abnormal. All right? That was the scenario before now.
I traveled recently, about 3 weeks ago. Can
you just hold on? It's a going concern. We have not launched this. It's ready. As I said, all the terminals in Lagos are ready. Abuja is ready. Where we are starting work now is Kano. All right, for the e-gate. Kano, the e-gates are on ground, that they're about to be installed. Port Harcourt e-gates are on ground, and of course, the one of Enugu. You understand? The e-gates are on ground. So the key issue, what I'm just trying to say, is that we have a working relationship with aviation. It's difficult for you to even know who is who. You understand? We collaborate together because we understand we are meant to complement and to collaborate with one another, not to compete. You understand?
Minister, let me take you to Correctional Service. And in the case of Bobrisky, and what that issue brought up is how the possibility of the porousness or the sanctity of what the Constitution provides in our correctional service, the possibility of the fact that someone can be sentenced and not spend time. And you said you are not going to defend the correctional center, and you were going to ensure that the report that comes out of it, it will be fair. But the question is that, what did you discover in Bobrisky matter?
I think what we discovered, we laid it bare. Number one, we discovered, from the report, okay, as I said, I don't also want us to isolate the case, because when you see an isolated case, when you see a case like that, it's a call, for gross reform, all right, and which is what we are doing at the moment. But let me tell you this: we discovered that, of course, as we said, according to the report, that there was no evidence that he slept out of the correctional centers, even though he enjoyed certain privileges according to what they brought to me. And the officers that we found culpable, I think because they discovered that the transfer form, from one correctional center to the other was not filled. When it was eventually filled, it was backdated, blah, blah, blah. A lot of atrocious stuff that happened. And those people are on suspension, and the board, there are disciplinary procedures. You don't just take action. You have to go through the process, all right? And of course, even somebody as high as an ACG, you understand, that was found culpable, who was the one that gave those instructions, verbal instructions, etc., in this regard. It's been suspended. An ACG, who is one of the topmost officers in the correctional service, because we said we're not going to shield anybody, And the report is with the board as I speak, and we've sent a copy to the service themselves, because disciplinary actions must start.
So people are being punished on the Bobrisky matter, but the fundamental is that there is a problem.
And that's why
you're fixing the problem.
Yes, that's it. That's what I said.
So what reforms are you
that's
implementing?
What we are trying to do, because when you have an institutional problem, all right, you don't just provide a knee-jerk approach to solving it, all right. So what we're doing now is we've set up that committee to be able to look at all the issues, beyond Bobrisky, beyond people absconding, a whole institutional issue. And we're already doing that, and that committee is chaired by the PAMSEC, and of course we have Dr. Uju, of Prawa, and as the secretary of that committee. And we deliberately made sure that it's not all about public service servants, okay? On that committee, we have Director Legal, we have the PAMSEC, and Director GSD as public servants. Then we have two civil society, as members and as secretary. So that at least we can...
What did this teach us? Did it make us understand that there is a fundamental problem in our correctional service? The possibility that people might not spend time.
Sure.
And what are you doing?
Sure. Do you want to hear this?
Yes.
My mother told me something when I turned 21. And I will tell you today, God gave me my eyes to be in front, not at the back, because he wants me to look into the future.
But those who
the only lesson, hold on, the only lesson, the only thing to learn from this history is that we can not transfer to these problems to future generations. We have to fix it, and we are fixing it.
I wish I could go, but in the issue of congestion, there are problems, structural problems.
Yeah, but you have to understand. You have to understand. We're working. The president has already approved.
I saw Kuje.
For us to be able to start. No, if you get to Kuje, Kuje is wonderful. We've done a lot of work in Kuje. Fair. Go to Kuje and see the wonderful.
No, I'm making an example. I mean, I'm citing Kuje as an example, but Kuje is an example. What about other correctional service?
No, we're working.
What about feeding? What about funding of the correctional service?
I just told you institutional reforms. Right? That's why I said it's not an isolated problem. See, when a problem comes, the way I'm brought up is to see that problem as an opportunity to make a change. I don't cry over spilled milk. Leadership is about being decisive. And leadership is about taking responsibility. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're not here to cry over spilled milk. Is there a problem in the correctional service? Definitely yes. Have we identified the problem? Of course we have. Do we have the gut and the support of the president to solve the problems, the answer is a yes. And with the support of the president, believe me, we will do all we need to do, no matter whose ox is God. We don't care. We'll just do the next.
Well, I wish I can go further into some areas. Unfortunately, time doesn't permit. But then, let me take you to your state, Ondo State. You are a minister nominated out of Ondo State. That is your state. And you are an APC member. Elections are this Saturday. Are you a lucky that you are?
Of course, I'm lucky. Don't you want to be lucky? If you are not lucky, you'll be unlucky. And I think you want to be lucky. A lucky man is a fortunate man.
Not in that sense.
No. You said I'm a lucky person. I am very lucky.
Are you a lucky that you are?
Okay, let me tell you. Okay, let me put it like this. Yeah. I'm luckified. All right? Okay. So, of course, let me tell you, it's a very clear case. I mean, the governor's been there for 10 months. He's performed very well. Stakeholders
What do you mean perform?
In terms of what he's done.
What has he done?
What has he done? Okay, I'll give you an example. Go to schools and see what is done. We know, look at even our public servants today. Look at the salary scheme the governor has done. I mean, he's not owing. Look at even a bursary for our students. Even for the first time, we have a governor who came up and said, hey, we want to build the next generation of entrepreneurs in Ondo State. Created entrepreneurship clinic and gave people what's it called, startup capital. You know, not 10,000, no, some 501 million. I mean, to be able to start business, young people. I'm a young man. I'm fortunate that the president has found me worthy, you know, to trust me with this responsibility. But there are 1,001,000 other young people in my state. And see what Lucky has done. He has done a lot in that regard. And of course, after the primary, we saw the fracas, we saw the division. The governor. Today, APC is going into this election as a one united family. I know you are a local politician in Ondo State, apart from the fact that you are a minister at the federal level. For someone who had traveled to Ondo when we went for the debate, and I rode on a motorbike, on a commercial motorbike, an Okada, and I had conversations with locals, and I hear what they say. There are those who would think that there will be possibility, or there are possibilities of an upset. Okay, let me tell you, there can be an upset because you don't compare a mango with an orange. I'm sorry to say. In what sense? You see, I'm a very civil person, you know, but when you look at the choices, the options that we have in this election, PC is very clear. The candidate is clear, all right, that it has to be Lucky. All the people contesting, they've served in one office or one position. Hold on, a former deputy governor, same as Lucky. Hold on, they've served in various positions. Labour Party candidate, Dr. Mimiko, mentioned the YPP candidate. Can you let me make this point? When you say that it is clear that your candidate is going to win, you're making a sweeping statement without identifying why your candidate will actually win. Because his track record outbeats others. See, Agbola Ajayi, with due respect, all right? He's a man I respect. He was in the House of Reps. He was deputy governor, all right? Now, Ondo State people can weigh and look at the achievements of everybody, all right? And when you look at it in 1 year, less than a year and 10 months, what this governor had been able to achieve. And do not forget, this is a governor that came in, okay, when the former governor died. So there was division, there were issues. He was able to stabilize the ship of the state, bring everybody together as one family, then faced primaries, now facing general, all within 10 months. With all these distractions, he's still been able to do a lot. So if you are now telling the people, we will not leave certainty for certainty, forget about the fact that I'm an APC man. But the simple truth is this. It's not just about being lucky by virtue of the name. It's about Ondo State being lucky to have Lucky. All right? And that is the key issue. We will find out whether they will choose Lucky on Saturday. We will deliver in Ondo. You know why? Because the people will not leave certainty or uncertainty. It's better your party promised that it will not rig, or any other party has that. We don't rig. We don't rig. We do not. We do not rig election. I ran for House of Reps twice. In my last election, we won almost all the polling units. I won everywhere for my House of Reps election. Not one polling unit was cancelled. Nobody could even raise a petition, okay? You know why? Because APC support in Ondo State is organic. Ondo is APC. All right. Ondo is APC, blood, through water across all
that would be put
body
to
and
test.
flesh.
Don't worry, Agbola Ajayi was the former APC. So thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for being
former APC.
again.
I get that before, no be property. Thank you.
Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo is the Minister for Interior. Thank you so much indeed for your time. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. God bless Nigeria.